subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button to be in touch.
Even if you think that I'm lying, you still couldn't look me in the eye and tell me that you think on social media there's been a fair representation. You cannot tell me that you think that this has been fair.
I don't want to fight with you.
Admit what you
I
said.
don't want to fight with you. You've done more illegal drugs in this room that should be way, 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 way more concerning to you if you're all Mr. Law all of a sudden.
Appeal over. The court has restored new audio of Amber admitting to setting up Johnny. A shocking new audio recording has just resurfaced, and it has exposed Amber to being a lying manipulator. The disturbing audio clip follows an argument between Depp and Amber as Amber forces her way into his hotel room. But here's the twist. She had filed a restraining order against him during this time, so this was just a setup by her to show the court during future divorce proceedings that Johnny broke the restraining order, when in reality, it was all carefully planned by her in the first place. But can this audio clip have any impact on Amber's upcoming appeal? Keep on watching to find out. If you listen closely to this part of the audio, you'll notice how Amber completely destroyed her own case and her own scheme to get Depp into trouble.
This is how you want it to end? Is this how you want it to end? I don't understand.
You can
Clearly hear her asking Depp if this was how he wanted it to end. But wait, there's more.
Fucking say it all this, everything you just
I just wanted to touch you. Just say
really after all this shit you just said?
I just wanted to give
After
you
all
a
this
hug.
shit you fucking
Yes,
accused me of,
yes,
you wanna touch me?
please stop. Please stop. Please, I just wanted to hug you and say bye. I didn't want to take that.
From everything that Heard is saying here, it is obvious that she knows it's all over between her and Depp, and there's no way they can reconcile anymore. So there's obviously no point in showing up at his doorstep, right? Well, this is where things get interesting. Back in the summer of 2016, Amber Heard filed her restraining order against Johnny Depp, citing a threat to her life due to Depp assaulting her. A Los Angeles judge granted this restraining order against Johnny. Even though Heard legally wanted Depp to stay away from him, she chose to ignore her restraining order and barge into Johnny's hotel room and try to hug him. She did this intentionally and with malice intent, knowing fully that she would exploit this during future divorce proceedings to milk as much money out of Depp as possible. This could be huge in the ongoing appeal, as Johnny's lawyers could use this audio as proof of Amber's dirty tactics and her history of manipulation. There's no way a judge doesn't throw her appeal out the window after this is entered into court. So Amber's appeal seems to be well and truly over. If you continue listening to the audio, there are many more hints of Amber's disturbing behavior here. If you listen to the first part of the audio, Amber's voice and tone appear timid and overly emotional, with her crying in between sentences, as she admits that she doesn't really love Depp anymore. This can be noticed here.
I wanted you. I just wanted
Oh,
you.
you fucking love me, but you don't fucking love me.
I used to love you so much.
Yeah, you used to. You know what?
But then towards the end, there's a sudden shift in her tone as she reveals her true side to Johnny when she realizes that she got what she had come to the room for, faking evidence. Take a listen for yourself. This is Amber showing signs of her BPD to the world. The most heartbreaking part comes as the video concludes when Johnny says,
Hi, I'd like to say hello to David and Paige and say that I love you and I'm sorry this didn't work.
Despite everything that their daughter put him through, this shows that Johnny still loved and respected Amber's parents and was apologetic for not being able to make it work with their daughter, even though none of it was his fault. Social media reacted very strongly to this. One user took to Twitter to write, Amber Heard claimed Johnny Depp is a monster and she was afraid to death of him, but cheated on him multiple times in his own house, mocked him, told an audio she started fights, broke the restraining order to get hug from him. He refused. Who's afraid? That's it for this video.
Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes.
Oh, wait, no. No, he didn't.
She initially was looking for a consideration of $4 million, but her demand continually increased.
Okay,
It went
good.
from $4 million to $5 million. Then it went from $5 million to $5.5 million. Then it went to $7 million. And then it was $7 million, and she demanded that Mr. Depp also pay $500,000 to her attorneys.
Busted. Amber has been exposed for hiding her money in a trust fund to avoid paying Johnny. Even though Amber has been broadcasting being poor everywhere on TV, she smartly has been coming up with ingenious tactics to get out of paying Johnny the $10.35 million she owes him. And one way is by locking her money up in a trust fund so nobody, including Johnny, can access it. This may be just one of the secretive and sinister ways in which Amber is hiding away her money to avoid paying Johnny. What else does she have up her sleeve? Keep on watching to find out. Amber is trying desperately to keep every single penny she has away from Johnny Depp, and to do so, she's employed several tactics, and the first one is shocking. This legal expert elaborates on this perfectly.
So there are lots of things that a defendant can do to shelter what they have, and one of those things is creating trust, putting the money in certain kinds of trust so that you can't touch them. There are ways to get around that if it was done after the judgment.
AmberHeard has hidden her money away in her massive Yucca Valley estate. Located 200 kilometers from California, the house itself was purchased by Heard in 2019. However, according to the New York Post, property records show it was bought through a trust attached to Heard's accountant for $570,000. But it is worth a lot more now, and since Amber owns the property without officially owning it, the authorities can't use it to get money from her. The legal expert sheds some more light on this.
So the defendant's looking for strategies of where can my money be that legally your judgment cannot come. There's a spell around it. You can't come inside of this circle. So that can be in the states that you happen to be in, but if it's not, go to another state that has the things that you need. Maybe it's Texas where you can put your money in real estate. It could be another state that has stronger trust protections than the state that you're in does, or put it overseas in a foreign trust. Move yourself in addition to your stuff. Move around. Don't let the plaintiff know where you are. Go somewhere else and work somewhere else. And so now that person has to chase you around, domesticating the judgment, trying to find out where you're making your wages at.
The judgment against Amber Heard was given in the state of Virginia, which means that in case she is unable to make her payments, the law enforcement authorities can seize her assets. But they'll have to go through the lengthy process of domesticating the judgment. If Amber can successfully hide her assets in other states which have stronger trust protections and make it impossible for authorities to track them down or enforce a seizure, she can successfully get away with paying the amount. From the looks of it, Amber already has the clever plan in motion. By using a trust fund to purchase the house on her behalf and not having her own name on it, Amber has intelligently put herself out of the equation and hidden away her money locked into a property in a way that is very difficult for Johnny's legal team to seize the property and use it to pay Johnny back. But this isn't the only trick she can use. According to the same legal expert, she can simply...
So, way number one, be broke. Lawyers have a term for that, usually called judgment proof. Somebody doesn't have the money, you can't collect on the judgment. So just be broke and stay broke, or stay under the radar broke enough that there's no way that you have anything worth anybody coming to get.
This is also something Heard is already doing. Her lawyer Elaine has already told the media that Amber can absolutely not pay the $10 million in damages. She has also been putting off publicity stunts like making appearances at TJ Maxx and circulating to various media outlets that she's broke. Amber is definitely hinting to the authorities that she is financially not sound enough to pay Depp back, therefore utilizing the same tactic of getting away with payment. Most people believe that Amber can't file for bankruptcy to avoid giving Depp the money he's owed because bankruptcy does not allow the discharge of a judgment debt if it is based on willful and malicious injury to another person. So even if she files for bankruptcy, she would still have to pay Depp, right? Wrong.
Got a disappointment for you here? It doesn't mean what you think it means. Willful and malicious. Now, it is true that in the Depp case, the jury came back with a finding of malice. But the bankruptcy definition of willful and malicious is not the same as most state courts' findings of malice. There's a higher level of mental intent required for bankruptcy discharge avoidance than there is to get a jury verdict in the state.
So if all else fails, the last resort Amber can turn to is filing for bankruptcy and start off with a clean slate. A user on Twitter reacted to this. They said, Amber Heard did not buy her Yucca Valley house. It wasn't bought for $1 million. The current value may be $1 million, but it was purchased in 2019 by a trust fund for $570,000. Her name isn't even on the deed. Gold, ding, ding, ding. Elon Musk, are you awake yet? That's it for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Goodbye.